Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, October 15th, and I'm your host, Kristen McDonald. It is great to have you with us as we end another week here in Norwood. Residents have been waiting years for fresh bagels from Spot. This week, they reopened at their brand new location on Cottage Street. Erin Crowley takes us inside this popular bagel shop.
Some travel near and far for these famous bagels. We're here at Spot's brand new location here on Cottage Street.
We used to go all the time when they were across the way, and only if we had enough time and only if I didn't have my kids with me. And I really wanted to get some bagels, and I finally had the day off from work, and I was like, I'm going to brave the line. It took about half an hour, but the line was about twice as long as it was before because they have more room. So the setup is pretty cool. You can pick your own bagels now. It's nice when you live here and people recognize you. And I mean, I had my second child right before they shut down, and the lady remembered me and asked about the baby and how old she was now, 17 months. So just it's crazy that they've been closed down for so long and everyone loves them so much, but it's great. I'm glad they're back.
Spot is looking for additional help. Full-time and part-time positions are available. Check out their Facebook page to apply. For Norwood Community Media, I'm Erin Crowley.
Thanks, Erin. Spot is open daily from 6:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Earlier this week, runners from across the state and country made the 26.2-mile trek from Hopkinton to Boston for the postponed Boston Marathon. Many runners here in Norwood took on the challenge, including Matt Brown and Lucas Carr, who completed their 7th.
I think the October Marathon is something that, they would never do permanently, but it was fun, maybe consider down the road. I know for the training for everyone was a lot easier. You're not running through snow, ice, sleet, and, freezing cold. It was great to be back on the course, and the crowd, really let you know that they missed you, and I think they really got us through that second half.
What made this year different from the rest was the team in which they ran for. This was the first year that Matt and Lucas ran under the Matt Brown Foundation. And for Matt, being able to do that was amazing.
Yeah, for years we raised an awareness and funds for some amazing organizations and groups. The Wounded Warrior Project, Boston Fire Department, Boston Bruins Foundation. But when Luke and I kind of set out and started this thing, we thought down the road that, one year we'll do it for us, for the Matt Brown Foundation. And being able to do it this year and raise the money that we did, it's truly, truly special. And it wasn't just Luke and I, Mary-Kate Galvin, who I've known since kindergarten, she's hounded me since we were in high school that, if the foundation ever became a thing, and if we ever got a bib for the Boston Marathon, she'd be the one that would do it. And I remember calling her in May, and I said, "Listen, I need to know an answer in like the next 24 hours. We have a bib for the Boston Marathon. Would you do it?" She said, "Let me think about it." She hung up the phone and called back 3 or 4 minutes later and said, "I'm in." And I am so proud of Mary-Kate for the sacrifice that she made the last 4 months training, but being involved and helping us raise the money we did, and I'm so proud of her. I'm really, really proud of her. And Luke absolutely crushed it as well. And it was his 20th overall, our 10th marathon together, and our 7th Boston. Without him, none of this would have been a thing. So it was a really special year, and I've thought about it a lot this week, and at times become emotional, at times become really excited. But this week has been really special.
The foundation has been a goal that Matt has worked towards for a long time, and for it to finally come to fruition is a great feeling.
The last month and a half has been extremely special, and it has put us into a position where, this fall we're going to be able to help a few more individuals live a more fulfilled and normal life, and it's only the beginning, and I'm excited to see what the future holds. The next event is looking like an April marathon. So as we close 2021, we're going to hope to get back to a few individuals and families that need our help. But 2022 is going to start off with a April marathon. We are talking about another golf tournament, hopefully get some bibs in the Falmouth Road Race, and just continue to raise as much money as we can and help individuals that need our help the most.
Great work, Matt. We are always so inspired by your never quit attitude. Follow the Matt Brown Foundation on social media for updates on future events. Stay tuned after this break for this week's Living Local and a recap of last week's police open house.
I'm a dad and a pastor.
I'm a mom and a principal.
I am a daughter,
wife, and machu.
Great-grandfather.
I'm a rock climber.
A husband, a father, and a grandfather.
I'm a mother, a daughter, a wife, and a cousin.
I got vaccinated for my parents.
Because I want to be a good neighbor.
For safety and for the people I love.
For my family, for my community, and for our community at large.
કારણ કે મારી ઈચ્છા હતી કે મારા બાળક બીજા બાળક સાથે રમી શકે.
I got vaccinated so I didn't have to wear a mask.
For my family and for my community, your community.
We all come from different backgrounds
and speak different languages.
But we all agree on one thing.
Get vaccinated.
Get vaccinated.
Get vaccinated.
Getting vaccinated.
get vaccinated.
Vaccination card.
To protect yourself and others, get vaccinated. To find out more information and to find a clinic, go to mass.gov/COVID vaccine.
Welcome back. Are you in need of insurance but are sick of the big companies that won't return your calls? Norwood's own Zimito Insurance will cover all your needs with that hometown feel.
Located at 955 Washington Street, Zimito Insurance is a family-owned and operated insurance and real estate business. Owner, Charles Zimito, has been a lifelong resident of Norwood and loves doing business here.
My name is Charles Zimito. I'm the owner of Zimito Insurance Agency here in Norwood. Born and raised in Norwood. I am married with two daughters, Ashley and Jessica. So my mother started the business with her partner in South Boston, and they were there until 1975 when the partner decided to retire. My mom moved into her house in Norwood, moved the business into her house in Norwood, and then once I graduated college, we realized it was time to expand, and then we moved to our current location now.
Zimito Insurance is not your average agency. They pride themselves on their customer service, and all that stems from their close-knit staff.
They can expect to find a very knowledgeable staff, friendly staff. We're going to do everything we can to answer your questions quickly, hopefully save you some money on your insurance. We very rarely use voicemail. We try and get back to emails as quick as we can. My mom still comes in a few days a week. I'm always here. The staff is close family friends, so it's a nice environment to come into. When you're stressed out about a claim or just a couple questions, it's very nice to come in.
Zimito prides himself on being part of the community, whether that's helping local businesses or donating to local sports teams.
Just the community. When I was a kid growing up, you always recognize certain businesses just by their name, and I hope that we're one of them now. So it's cool seeing, at a golf tournament our name or on the back of a sports jersey. It's just, doing as much as we can to help out the community. But then seeing people out in Norwood, people you've grown up with, clients, that you see all over town at restaurants or fundraisers, just getting to know people outside of, the office.
Zimito has one message for the residents of Norwood, and that's to support local businesses.
Try anything you're looking for, look for it first in town. So those are the businesses that you see, on the back of the sports jerseys. You see them at all the fundraisers, the golf tournaments. Anybody who needs money, it's the local businesses that really support the community, so really give them a shot first.
If you want to learn more about Zimito Insurance and Real Estate, visit their website or follow them on social media.
You could call, stop in. We're on all the social networks. I don't understand a lot of them, but we're there. So we're very easy to find, very approachable, so come down and see us.
The Public Safety Building was full of activity Saturday morning as both the fire and police departments hosted their annual open house. Residents had the chance to walk around and tour the building and meet officers and firefighters.
This is our open house, our annual open house we do for Fire Prevention Week. We do this to introduce the people to our people, our equipment. Take the opportunity to give them some fire safety demonstrations. We're going to have a couple of good ones out back, I think, later on. We're just thrilled to open the station and let the people in. The people own it. They deserve to be here. They deserve to know what we do. And I think it's important for the guys to interact with the town. I know there's a lot of excited people here. We're getting a chance to explain what we do, how we do it, why we do it. I think that's lacking. The public largely sees red trucks going down the road and they think we're going somewhere, and that's all they think about. You come in here, you get to see all the tools, you get to touch the tools. It definitely gives them a better understanding, and I've received that from a lot of people today.
Along with the fire department, the police also gave tours of their side of the building. Chief Brooks knows it's a great day to get to know the residents in the community.
Well, anytime we have a chance to talk to the people in town, it's a big plus for us. Our job, as we know these days, is all about making sure that people trust the police and that we have good lines of communication. And my feeling has always been, if you've never met the police, then you feel a little awkward about bringing a situation to our attention. But if people know the police or feel like they do, then they'll be more open in talking to us and telling us if there's a problem in the neighborhood or something that they need help with. And of course, that's what we're here for. So anytime we can make people trust in us and feel comfortable with us and open up lines of communication, that's a big plus for us.
Also, during the open house, Fire Education Officer Paul Ronco was happy to announce that the fire department was awarded the SAFE grant for the 20th year.
Hi, my name is Paul Ronco. I am the Fire Education Officer here at the Norwood Fire Department. I just wanted to speak a little bit about our SAFE grant that was, I believe this is our 26th SAFE grant we've gotten through the state. That allows funding for fire education in the schools and also at the senior centers. Happy to report, I believe the last 2 years there have been 0 children killed in house fires. That number is the gold standard as far as what we're shooting for. When this program started 26 years ago, the child fatalities was up in the 24 range a year. So the education really is playing a huge part in keeping this community safe.
Thanks to all the Norwood firefighters for continuously educating the public on fire safety. Now we're going to toss it over to Miles Kidd with the latest in school news.
Hi guys, I'm Miles Kidd, and let's take a look at some activities happening in our Norwood schools this week. Norwood High School held their Spirit Week and everyone was all in. Friday was Freedom Friday, and the colors red, white, and blue were all over the school. Tuesday was Twin Day, and Wednesday was Groutfit Day, and students rocked their comfy gray sweatshirts. The NHS Update crew also got in the Groutfit spirit by broadcasting in black and white. Throwback Thursday is always fun, and Friday was Class Color Wars. Spirit Week is a great way for students and staff to have fun together. The Callahan School recently held their virtual open house. The teachers provided a wealth of information regarding curriculum and daily classroom routines and activities. Mrs. Gertie and Mrs. Brown hosted an informational session to kick off the event. The Callahan School would like to thank all of the families for attending and hope that this event will soon return to an in-person one. Also at the Callahan, 4th and 5th grade students started a coding unit with Mr. Ruland in the library.
Ready, go.
Using Sphero robots, they first used the onboard accelerometer to detect collisions and have the Sphero react. They then coded a light show and dance routine. Lastly, they are going to have to precisely figure out the parameters to make a Sphero land a jump off a ramp, but stop in time to not hit a paper pedestrian.
Now. Go.
Start. After green, but after blue, you have to spin again. So it's spinning. Oh, no, it keeps on spinning. Yeah, right. Then it goes green.
Cool.
I'll have it in the program to start going somewhere. I don't know where it's going.
Third graders at the Prescott School began designing paper bridges to see whose can hold the most pennies. This lesson, called What Makes Bridges So Strong, taught students about real-life bridge design. Students then used their knowledge about forces to build a strong bridge that can support as many pennies as possible. Next week, we will revise our designs and compete in the Bridge Challenge. Welcome to the Willett Early Childhood Center 2021-2022. Come aboard and meet the hardy Buccaneers of room C1. These mates are already under full sail with Captain McLean and first mate Riley. They are on a quest to find the true treasure of kindergarten, books. Through daily read-alouds and opportunities throughout the week to peruse early readers, these seafaring students are learning to appreciate that books can afford you exciting adventures that exist on colorful pages and exploring imaginations. If you meet one of these hardy Buccaneers on Willett Island, they just might ask, "What are you reading?" This week at Little Mustangs Preschool Academy, students are learning about the fall. During this beautiful and exciting time of year, preschoolers have been exploring leaves, acorns, pine cones, and gourds in their science and sensory areas. Beautiful works of art have been created by painting leaves, decorating cut-out acorns, and making cute puff paint squirrels. Children have been playing squirrel counting games together and completing fall-related puzzles. Students have used their classroom technology to count leaves and sort them by their color. Everyone had fun on their nature walk and looking for signs of fall. Fall is always fun at the preschool. Well, that's it for school news. There's something interesting happening in our classrooms and schools every day, and thanks to all the educators who share their news with us. Now I'll send it over to Mike Maloof for the latest in fall sports.
Hello and welcome to the Sports Update. Friday Night Lights are back at Norwood High School as the Mustang football team hosted Hopkinton under the lights for the first time in years. The stands were packed as students and residents came out to support the now 4-1 football team. The Hillers scored the first touchdown of the game, putting them up 6-3, and that was the score to end the first quarter. The Mustangs punched one in midway through the second, putting them up 10-6, and a last-second 40-yard field goal by Hopkinton ended the first half 10-9 in Norwood's favor. The second half started with the long kickoff return by the Mustangs, and let's take a listen to that call.
All right, so it was at the 11-yard line, Keneally.
He had the burst of speed like
right. He winds his way through, gives him one move there, and he's down that sideline by the kicker there, Ravitch. He's the last man, and he puts a little move on him, and he goes.
That's what it's going to be.
Maybe.
The second half continued to go the Mustangs' way, and I should say Brian Mateer's way. Mateer scored 2 long touchdowns, first being a 45-yard run and the second being a 16-yard run. On top of the offensive plays, Mateer forced a fumble on a blitz on the defensive side. And to cap it off, the Mustangs tossed an 18-yard touchdown pass late in the fourth. We were able to catch up with Coach Lopes after the game.
It's awesome. I mean, I told these guys it's not everybody can say they played under the lights. A lot of classes go through here and they don't get one. We were lucky enough for the whole town rallying behind us to get these lights up here. I'll tell you, the week was kind of crazy. The 2 weeks were crazy. But we got them. We had the game. It was a lot harder than we had hoped. Hopkinton came up and played a great game. We know from here on out we're going to get everyone's best game. We got Medfield's best game last week. We got Holliston coming in this week. It's a huge week for us. It's just great. Great coming out. The town showed up. A bunch of people were here. Very loud. We appreciate everybody. It's a huge win for the program.
Wednesday was a big day for the Mustang community as the Unified Basketball Team, a new team formed here at Norwood High School, captured their second win of the season over Hopkinton. This win now moves them to 2-1 in the season, the first win coming over Westwood earlier this year. Congrats to the boys and girls of the Unified Basketball Team. This is very exciting. The golf team wrapped up their season on Tuesday and finished with their third straight win. The last 3 wins of the season came at home against Ashland, 240-263, at home against Bellingham, 236-271, and finally on the road against Holliston, 231-262. Volleyball's amazing 4-game winning streak finally came to an end this week against Norton when they fell 3-2. Then they were on the road against Bellingham and they lost that game 3-1. And then they ended the week against Westwood where they lost 3-0. It was a strong performance by the Mustang runners as the boys cross-country team picked up their first win of the season, 15-50 against Dedham. The girls had their best meet of the season, losing by only 1 point, 27-28. Great work by all the runners. Field hockey had a single match this week against rival Dedham. After tying 1-1 last week, the Mustangs fell to a close one, 2-1. Boys soccer was on the road twice this week, first against Norton High School, where they fell 2-0 to the Lancers. And then it was a short ride to Westwood, where they also lost 3-0 to the Wolverines. Girls soccer also had 2 matches this week against Norton and Westwood. First, they took on Norton in a close 1-0 loss, and then it was senior day for the girls against Westwood. It was a beautiful day for soccer, and the defense really showed up for both teams. After some chances on both sides, the game finished with a 0-0 tie. Well, that's all for sports this week. Make sure to follow us on social media for scores and broadcast times. Kristen, back to you.
Thanks, Mike. In government, at the Board of Selectmen meeting Tuesday night, Town Manager Tony Mazzucco presented all capital outlay items to the board. During the in-depth presentation, Selectman Donahue raised questions regarding the funding of several of the items.
The leaf is $240,000. That would make it capital. And
Correct.
I didn't even raise the question why it's a 1995 vehicle. So we didn't take care of it. It's not that old, a 1995 vehicle. And how often do you use it?
We are picking up leaves almost throughout the year. I can tell you I get lots of calls about when leaf pickup is coming, and when we don't pick up leaves, believe me, residents call and they let us know that we've not picked up leaves. 1995 for a leaf packer, I mean, it's a 25-year-old vehicle. These vehicles generally only have a 20-year lifespan. We need to look at where we're investing our dollars. $240,000 is...
No, I understand. I wouldn't include the leaf vehicle, but through the capital plan, you can see 5 and 6 years down the road what vehicles are coming up in there. I know it could be 3 or 4 year old data that you have to refresh, but you could get the sense of what vehicles are coming up and how much that's going to be, so that you could ensure that the operating budget can take care of most of those items if possible, or whether it truly needs to go into the capital aspect of it.
I agree, and
I'm
that's
not
what
talking about the other things, equipment that you have to replace 20,000. Those sometimes you can't even forecast.
Correct.
And it may come up and you say to capital outlay, well, we got to move this up. Wasn't on the original. But vehicle seems to be the most logical and something that you definitely know what's coming up.
Sure. So 3 or 4 years ago, we had $0 built into the operating budget for vehicle replacement. That total number is up to about $750,000. So I think we're getting there. Okay. The cemetery is probably the last division that should have a regular replacement.
Question, please. Do we have any financial numbers that, like, if it's below this, it's not on capital, if it's above that, it is on... We used to have some guidelines. Do we have any guidelines?
So there's something listed in the bylaw. If you read the amount, the challenge is that amount comes in at several $100,000. So it would say that everything under capital, it wouldn't count as capital. The operating budget will never have that flexibility in it. We never have, even without the 3.5% cap, if you look at a general government budget of about $33 or $35 million, and you add 3.5% to that, subtract out your cost of living increases and your step increases, there's never hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of flexibility. Every year you might have a little bit of flexibility. We did try adding cash capital into the budget a few years ago. I think the way it was explained at the time confused town meeting, and we decided never to try that again. Because it was challenging. So separately, we do need to have a discussion on the capital outlay bylaw, but here's an example. Let's say capital outlay says it's only capital if it's over $100,000, and we have an $80,000 project we have to do, and we don't have that flexibility in the operating budget. We're not gonna lay a person off to do that project unless the town was gonna completely collapse otherwise. So what do you do with that cost? The big projects we know we can get, but we don't have the kind of flexible operating budget to just take on $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 projects every year, maybe one, but across 20 different divisions, it makes it challenging.
The Board of Selectmen will meet again on Tuesday, October 26th. With only one item on their agenda, the Zoning Board met to cover the public hearing for 21 to 23 Shaw Street. Due to missing board members, Attorney David Hearn asked the board for a continuance until the November 9th meeting. The meeting ended with an approval of minutes. The next meeting for the ZBA will be on November 9th. The Trails Committee met at the Senior Center on Tuesday. Members reviewed ideas and timelines for Norwood's 150th celebration next year. Later, the group discussed upcoming projects and activities. The committee invites all to participate in a community costume hike on Saturday, October 30th at 2 p.m. The hike will start at Endine Park by Haas Pool in South Norwood. Costumes are encouraged. Those interested can contact Progress Norwood or the Trails Committee with any questions. The Trails Committee meets again next month. Town meeting members met over Zoom Wednesday night for a Q&A session. Tony Mazzucco led the group through a series of presentations regarding special town meeting articles. Following a detailed presentation explaining tax increment financing, or TIF, representatives from Moderna spoke about the proposed TIF agreement. Other articles on warrant were discussed, and Tony opened up the floor to questions. Before adjournment, the group discussed a lengthy capital plan. Items up for vote include updates to the Civic Center lobby, technology upgrades for police and fire, and a design for new traffic lights along Washington Street in the town center. There is another information session before town meeting this Saturday, October 16th at 10 a.m. Town meeting members can join in person at the Senior Center or remotely. Special town meeting reconvenes on Monday, October 18th. For complete government coverage, tune into the NCM Government Channel or watch on demand at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Stay tuned after this break for more town news.
The Ecumenical Community Food Pantry of Norwood is a local volunteer organization that serves families in Norwood and the surrounding towns. Founded in 1989, serving just 6 clients, the pantry has grown to now serving over 350 families. Located at 150 Chapel Street in Norwood, the entrance to the pantry is at the back of the Grace Episcopal Church. The pantry hours are from 9 a.m. to 11:40 a.m. on Saturday mornings. For more information about the Norwood Food Pantry or how to donate or volunteer, visit www.norwoodpantry.org.
Welcome back. The library is running a survey to gather feedback from the community. Here's Library Director Clayton Cheever with more information.
Hi, I'm Clayton Cheever, Director of the Morrill Memorial Library here in beautiful Norwood. We need your help. We need to know what you appreciate about current library resources and services and how you'd like to see them change in the next 3 to 5 years. Every 5 years, the library conducts intensive community research to focus our activities where they can best meet Norwood's needs. Please help us learn more about how we may best serve our great town. You can help us by completing the community survey easily linked to from the QR code on the screen or by using any web browser to navigate to bit.ly/mml-survey-2021. I also wanted to invite you to attend one of the community listening sessions we're holding at the library. They're happening on Monday evening, October 18th from 6 to 8, and on Tuesday afternoon, October 19th from 2:30 to 4:30. 2 more sessions are scheduled for Friday and Saturday in early November if neither of those 2 October sessions fits into your schedule. Thanks in advance for your help making sure we hear your voice and understand how you wish to see our library develop.
Thanks, Clayton. The survey is open through Sunday, November 7th. Each year, we look forward to Trunk or Treat. Last Saturday, tons of families gathered in the DPW lot to grab some candy and show off their Halloween costumes. Trunk or Treat is made possible by the Rec Department, the DPW, and the creative residents who decorate their cars in the Halloween spirit. There were appearances by Norwood Police, Norwood Light, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Paw Patrol, Aliens, Pirates, and so many more. Rec Superintendent Katie Seastead recapped the event.
We had about 500 pre-registered guests, and we seem to be moving in that direction of doing pre-registration just so we can make sure we have enough food and goodie bags for everybody. It went really well. We had raised over $485 for the Norwood Food Pantry, and also was able to donate a full truck of food from all the donations that came in, and we just really appreciate TD Bank for their sponsorship that made this event for either $1 or bringing canned foods in for the food pantry. And it was a great time. We had a DJ, we had a lot of cars out there. I think we had about 20 to 25 trunks, and it was great to see all the municipalities, DPW, Light Department, obviously our police department. So it was great seeing them out there, and so it was a great trunk or treat. It was our 10th annual, and we're looking forward to bringing it back again next year.
Then on Sunday evening, pumpkins set sail across Hawes Pond. The Rec Department partnered with TD Bank to host this fun night for families, complete with a DJ and street vendors to buy delicious hot food like fried dough, sausages, and chicken fingers. As night fell, families brought their carved pumpkins and sent them on a cruise across the pond. Check out the Rec Department Facebook page for more exciting Halloween events. Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend.